Hello and welcome to another Pat Bear's Anime Club, an ongoing video series where every other Monday I put up a new video taking a look at something from the world of anime that I want to chat with you about. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you want more of this, because I do every other week put out something to talk about anime. Now this particular video is inspired by a video I put out 2 weeks ago. So if you want to know about some not spooky anime for the Halloween season, even though it's past, you can check that out. In that video, I talked about Karin, and you can't find Karin legally easily anymore. It had a dub, it had a US release, it is just not available. It's from a window of like the early to mid to late 2000s where a lot of stuff got put out, but then licensing didn't include streaming because it wasn't really a thing, even though it was. And it just, a lot of stuff fell by the wayside and hasn't been picked up because it's not old enough to be considered a hidden gem or a classic. It might get a re-release, at some point, but most likely they're just in a weird spot. So there's a couple here where we're talking about, I should say what the video is about. For anime you can't stream legally. And I'm going to be US focused here, although this should include Canada and a lot of English speaking countries. But I will be US focused in this one. It may be available in your region, and if it is, hell yeah, enjoy it. Any of these shows that I'm talking about here, although at least one I know is not available in your region, no matter where you are. It's just not available at all. We'll talk about that, of course. But speaking on the mid 2000s, you can't find it, or even late 2000s, I believe. You can't find it. Maybe this is 2010. I don't remember. Anyway, Baccano. Baccano is a fantastic story set in the Prohibition era. It is from multiple different characters' perspectives as they intersect with one another and intertwine their stories. It's awesome. It is the anime that a friend of mine used as an example to try to get me back into anime. So this must have been 2010, 2011, because that and the the reboot, that's the word I was looking for. The reboot of Hunter x Hunter were the two things that my friend was like, you should check this out. Baccano, fantastic. It did have a dub. It did have a US release. You can find the DVDs and even the Blu-rays if you would like. In English, you can find those. Dual language, of course. You can find those on eBay or Amazon or in, probably bookstores, old, used, the used DVD section. You can probably find it there if you really want to hunt for it. If you want to find the show, you can. Legally, you just can't stream it. It's not on Crunchyroll. It's not on High Dive. It's not on Right Stuff's, which I guess is now Crunchyroll. It's not on Tubi, so you can't do that. I'm going to drink a little water. Pardon me. So yeah, it's not out there. Easily. That's what we're talking about here. Legally, easily. Can't. Even though it's a fantastic series and it holds up, can't. Another series that you can't legally on, say, Crunchyroll or another streamer watch, even Netflix, is the 1997 version of Berserk. You cannot watch this. If you would like to, it would be great if you could, but you can't. There was a dub, and you can find the early versions of the DVD if you want. There are official DVDs of this series and they're movies, but they're not really movies. They're like collections and reimaginings and here's the first 20 episodes condensed or something like that. I'm going to cough. I don't edit these, as you can tell by the fact that I am telling you that I'm going to cough. No edits. I just restart if I screw up terribly. Yeah, occasional edits. Mostly no edits. Anyway, Berserk, the 1997 version. Now, part of me thinks, is this a conspiracy? Is this the plan that, we don't want you to watch the 1997 version of Berserk because we want you to watch the other ones we keep putting out, the retellings, the reimaginings, the continuations. We want you to watch those, even though they are critically and commercially not as successful as the 1997 version. I don't know if that's the fact. I will say the last kind of digital CGI ones weren't terrible. The kind of reboot in a way of it isn't bad. The retelling, it's not terrible, but there are some very bad versions of Berserk out there, and this is not one of them. This is the good one. Brutal, unyielding, romantic at times, gorgeous at times, incredible soundtrack. The 1997 version of Berserk is awesome. This is the easiest of the four to watch if you don't mind being illegal. And I'm not going to tell you how to watch this if you wanted to. I don't know how, you're going to find the dub or the subbed out there. I'm not going to tell you where to look. If there was a website where people upload all kinds of things that they should and should not, that is easy to watch, things like this, I'm not going to be the one that tells you. But you can find it out there if you really want to. Again, there are DVDs. There are official and unofficial DVDs out there. You can find it all. But you can't stream it legally. You can't watch one-outs legally, just at all. It never had a dub. It never had official subtitles in other languages. I'm going to say it might have been in a couple regions that I'm not clear about, but I'm going to say English subtitles are not available for this commercially, legally. Why is that? This 2008 sports anime, you'd think it would have had a release. It didn't. It had a butt rock on, a Japanese butt rock song for the beginning of it. It's about an asshole, which seems very 2000. Like our main character is a jerk that we root for because he has given it to other jerks. You would think that this show would have gotten a release because people would have been hot for this. Sports anime always does pretty okay. And this one is, like I said, kind of like about gambling and cheating cheaters and gambling against people that are, think they got the one up on you, but they don't because this guy's smarter than they are and more talented. It just didn't. It possibly is because the license holders maybe didn't pursue it, because one of the reasons you make anime is to help sell the manga, and this anime came out 2 years after the manga ended, which is kind of weird. But yeah, you're maybe selling some collections of it, but you're not, it's not continuing. There's not new stories. So maybe that's why it didn't end up, but it didn't. And it's weird. And you can't legally watch it. You can't legally stream it, I should say, because it is not available for streaming anywhere. It's out there. You can find it. You might have to. You wouldn't download an anime, would you? But you might have to if you want to watch the one-outs, which I think is worth watching because it's fun. It is a fun gotcha, like watching this guy just work some fools. I think it's worthwhile. And then there's the anime you can't stream, period. You just can't find it. You have to look, and that's on purpose. This is not lost media we're talking about here. This is not a rights issue. This was not this anime that I'm about to talk about came out in the US briefly, and the company went under, and well, who's got the rights and who they reverted to, and we're trying to track it down, and the masters are gone. No, they just didn't want you to watch this. Katanagatari is gorgeous and beautiful, and it's not available. 50-minute episodes that came out monthly, which is obviously fairly unique. And it came out, this is in monthly in Japan. And then there was a block that showed them with a new entrance and song. I believe a new opening song, maybe a new closing song too. Yes, a new closing song as well. Kind of a repackage that aired like once or twice maybe. It appears that the production company that made this anime just didn't want it to be, they didn't want to license it. People wanted it because it's a incredibly great story about finding these swords and collecting these swords, and a guy trying to understand the world around him, a girl trying to find her place and trying to stake her claim, and it's gorgeous, and the fights are fluid and beautiful, and it's sad sometimes and funny sometimes, and it's incredible. It's just incredible, and you can't stream it or find it officially anywhere. You can find it if you wanted to, but this one hurts. This one hurts that, like, I don't collect physical media. I would love an official, well taken care of, well produced, curated with cool extras Blu-ray of this. I would like that. I would like to put that on my shelf. And I don't collect physical media anymore. But I would also love to just be able to stream this, like put this on High Dive or Crunchyroll whenever I wanted to and watch it. You know, have ads playing on the Tubi version and feel annoyed by because this was not designed to have ads. The 50-minute episodes don't have spots for that, so they're all weird. You know, I would love that. A dub of it for the folks that really need to. That's how they process. They process audio like that. They don't do well with subtitles. Yeah, an official gorgeous dub of this would be fantastic. Um, I'd love it to see it in higher res than the versions that I have seen it in, which were good, but could have been better. Um, because it's absolutely fantastic. I can't speak highly enough. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. And I wish I could say that I've watched it legally because I'm a man in my 40s and I like to watch things properly at this point. We all went through a phase. Some of us never give up that phase. I try to do it right, but you know, you do what you can do. Uh, and that is for anime you can't stream, and again, legally. You might be able to find some of these out there. You should find at least, I would say, 2 of these, if not all of these. You should go track down and watch. For a variety of reasons, they are unavailable, be it licensing, be it just the malaise of the 2000s into the 2010s. There's a number of reasons why you can't. And I wish that was not the case. I want to hear from you, though, in the comments below. Let me know. What's a show that you really like that you just can't watch on streaming? Maybe it's an old series. I kind of focused on, again, I think 1997 is the earliest of these. So I tried to focus more modern-ish and not focus on the many anime you just can't watch from the late 70s and early 80s that just haven't appeared out there, that just like aren't on Retro Crush or whatever, that just haven't shut up. That might be another video where you talk about old anime that you just can't find on streaming services. But I want to hear from you. What are some examples? Also, if you have a suggestion for a future Pet Bears Anime Club video, let me know. My next one, I have decided, will be my best of fall 2023, because we are now more than halfway through this. By the time the video goes up, we'll be more than halfway through. This comes a little later than normal for me as far as my recommendations for the season. But yeah, this is a weird one. There are a few good ones. I'll give you a hint. There are a few excellent ones that I'll be talking about next season, or for this season in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. I hope to see you on the next Anime Club. And until then, goodbye.